Time to start my morning ritual. You know, a daily dose of doom and gloom. I pop on the news each morning, so I can stay informed. But quite frankly, it's draining.
Here in New York City tonight into the migrant crisis, New York's Mayor Eric Adams.
Welcome back. Mortgage rates racing towards 8% now, locking homebuyers out of the market.
Could we be heading toward World War III?
We're going to go to war, I can tell already.
The White House has urged private sector businesses to bolster their cybersecurity defenses.
Shelters at capacity now, hundreds now sleeping on the sidewalk.
My latest thing is to, watch less news so I can keep a positive mindset. In addition to that, I'm trying to make some changes in my diet to be healthier, but that's a topic for another video. Most of my mornings start with coffee and not much else. And then after that, I take my four-legged fur baby off to the park for a walk, which is good for him and also helps me clear my head. Because after all, I just did spend 20 minutes watching the news. Have you been guilty of watching a lot of news that makes you crazy? I don't know, scrolling through social media, looking at all of the crazy things that are happening throughout the world. There is a word for it. It's called Doomscrolling. And yes, I am guilty of it. So what do? First thing in the morning, flip on the news. For me, it's political news. And then we switch over to Facebook or X or I don't know, one of those social media accounts. And we're looking at all these things that are happening throughout the world that are making us crazy, affecting our psyche. Do you do it? Yes. And you gotta figure out a way to stop doing it. Yes, the average person spends 108 minutes daily scrolling through social media. And the term doom scrolling, well, it came out during the pandemic. And constantly scrolling through negative news affects your mental health and your physical health. Another thing that affects my mental health is the fact that there's now a weed eater in the background while I'm recording. I'm going to move. Yes, 108 minutes daily is what the average person watches, 108 minutes of social media scrolling. And do you know that the click-through rate on negative media is 2.3% higher than other news stories? So we're prone to look at the negative stuff before we look at the positive stuff. And that's kind of sad. Even our mainstream media, they know this. They know that negative headlines sell. And that's why I think there's so much of it in the news. So keep that in mind when you see really negative headlines. They're trying to reel you in, just like a fish on the line. Put that negative headline out there to get you to click, to get you to watch. And quite often, sometimes even the headline's quite misleading. So there's that. There is a mental and physical toll to consuming large amounts of negative stories online. They say that it increases anxiety, depression, and increases your overall worries, which isn't a good thing. A positive attitude is important for being successful in life and feeling good, and also for having people around you. You ever heard that phrase, Debbie Downer? People don't like to be around negative people. So you have to reel it in. I am guilty of talking about all the BS that's going on in the world. And I like to be informed and educated, but you have to have a balance. Keep that in mind. You need a balance. You can't let it consume you. Want to have better health? Want to have a happier overall life? Try doing some kindness scrolling. Look for positive articles to read. If you're going to spend that time on social media, take the time to read the things that have a positive spin to them instead of the negative spin. Overall, it will make you feel better. I know it makes me feel better. Quite often when I'm in a pissy mood, I turn on some music, uplifting music, and that also helps me change my point of view for the day. And I'm better off to be a happy Lisa than to be a grumpy Lisa. And you can ask my husband. And let's say you fall off the wagon and you watch a bunch of negative news. You're going through Facebook and you're seeing all kinds of things that just, get your blood pressure up. Turn it off. Maybe do some breathing exercises. And a final takeaway, make sure that you limit your amount of time on social media. And when you're there, take breaks. It's good for you. Also, while you're there, try to look for positive things to read and view versus the negative. You will find that you will be more optimistic, more positive, and have a healthier life. Now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you got something out of this video, and I hope I see you again. Take care.